In this video, I want to talk about the reasons why you should bring a consulting team into your organization to help you with your work. So I have been a director since 2017, and there have been several occasions when I have had to look into bringing consultants into the company to do some work. And there has been occasions when bringing consultants has helped a lot, and other occasions where maybe I would have expected a different result. So today I want to go through the main 5 reasons that I have to bring consultants to help me with the work at the organization. And I would love to hear in the comments below which ones are the reasons for you to bring consultants into your team. So one of the main reasons to bring consultants to your team is that at some point or another, you are going to lack resources or team members' capacity to actually deliver or approach or go into a project, but you have the budget to actually do that. There are different occasions where you already have all your teams that you have in development in your engineering team who are already focused on building different features, on developing different projects. And realistically, you don't have more bandwidth to take that other project that you think that is very important, but realistically, you are not going to be able to do it because all your teams are already fully booked. Another important factor for this is that you actually have the budget, that you actually are a profitable company and you have the money to actually pay for those consultants. In this case, it would be a good idea to look into defining a project that is scoped down quite well and that it's understood what is like the work packages that the consultants will be doing. At that point, I think that is a good and realistic option to look into consulting. The second reason why you maybe should be thinking about bringing consultants into your team, and of course, all these reasons will have some dependencies with each other, as you can imagine. This reason is going to be that you are going to give them a project or you're going to give them some kind of work package that is outside of your value proposition. My thought is that you probably should not be thinking about consulting or subcontracting the work for your main value proposition. You need to have that know-how, you need to have that expertise, you need to have the people that understand what is being built, how it works, how it's going to be maintained, how it's going to grow in the future, and keep that knowledge within your team. This is very important and kind of a non-negotiable. If you're bringing consultants to do features that are not part of your value proposition, I think that this is a good idea. Another one, and again somehow related to the previous one, is that you can bring consultants into your company when you are going to be developing features that are not part of your core competence. You are going to have teams that are going to be very good at doing certain things in the company. Let's say that you are building an app for exercising. Most likely, your core competence is building that app, having that knowledge on the different type of exercises, bringing or building that experience of how to do trainings or how to monitor your progress and so on. But probably your core competence is not going to be in other certain areas like administrating users, like building an e-commerce feature into your product where your customers can actually go and purchase your product. There are going to be different things that you are going to have to do that support the work of that app and support that, of course, your business grows and that you are actually potentially profitable at some point, that you are not going to have that core expertise, that your teams are not going to be great at doing this because maybe they have not done it before and they have been concentrating a lot on your value proposition, on building that exercise app. In this case, it might make a lot of sense that you are trying to look for that consulting team that have already built this kind of e-commerce platform or this kind of project several times, and they can help you bringing that know-how into your team. The fourth reason that I think that is a good one to get consultants in your company is that you are bringing them when they have already done that kind of job several times. I think that this is very important because you can see that they have been growing their core expertise already around this. It's very related to the previous one where I talk about building e-commerce. There are many consulting firms that they have done this. There are many consulting firms that have focused, for example, a lot on building this customer experience, customer journey, on how a customer is going to actually first discover your product, how they are going to consider your product, potentially how they are going to purchase it, stay loyal, and all these things. So consultants are usually very good at building that kind of layer that is not part of your value proposition, and they usually have done a good job in previous iterations or previous projects with other companies. Usually, you can see this if you go to the consultants page and you look at the case studies that they have done in the past with other companies. This is a good way for you to know how they work. And most likely somebody in your company has worked in maybe another company and has heard about different type of consultants and can potentially guide you to find which one would be the consultant firm that can help you actually come and build that feature, that project that you might not be able to build on your own because you don't have resources, or maybe you don't have the core competence, as I was talking earlier. The fifth reason that I would consider consulting is that I would bring consultants into my team that would work as part of the team, but I probably would not like to have consultants that are not working as part of the team. There are good reasons, obviously, for me why this should be the case. Is that for me, when consultants are working as part of the team, they're going to be much more engaged with what is going on in the organization. There's going to be more transparency, understanding what's happening. I know that some people are not going to believe in the consultants being engaged, and they're going to think that consultants are going to be a little bit like mercenaries. I have done consulting job, and I would say that I was pretty engaged with the work that was going on. So I would not say that consultants don't care necessarily about the work that you are doing in your organization. But when consultants work as part of the team, the most important thing is that there's going to be transparency. They are going to understand what the other team is doing, how it affects their work, how they bring the knowledge of what are the APIs, what are the technologies used in the main product, and how can I use them, or how can I integrate with them. And on the other hand, this is also going to be very important for your own team, that they are going to get knowledge from what the consultants are doing, how they are working, what they know about, what technologies they know for building whatever feature they are building or project. And that's something that your teams are potentially going to benefit from in the future. So many times people think that consulting is not something that companies should be doing, or many teams, actually engineering teams, think that consulting is like a big no-no. You don't bring those mercenaries into our company to actually tell us how to do our job. But the reality is that consultants they're not necessarily evil people. They're not necessarily only after the money. They also have interest in what they're building. They have expertise. They work as part of your organization. It's true that that's not the case for all the consultants. And there are reasons why you probably shouldn't bring certain types of consultants into your company. And those are things that you had to pay attention to. But that's the content for a different video. And some of you might be thinking that why to bring consultants when you could be growing your team and actually building that expertise in the company. And that's a fair point, but the reality is that when you build a new team, that especially when you are talking about features or areas where you don't have expertise, that's going to take your time. It's going to take a while until you get that expertise, until you build that team to actually be, let's say, productive. Usually it's going to take quite some time, usually months, sometimes even more. Depends on the type of work that they had to do. And usually what you are looking for in a consultant is that they have done that job and they have done it well in the past. This is one of the good reasons that I was mentioning earlier where you should bring consultants into your company. If you are a director, a manager, or an executive in a software company, you probably have either considered or brought some consultants into your company to help your teams to build some project. Please share below with us what have been the good reasons or the good experiences that you have had with them. It's always interesting to see, and I'm pretty sure that there are a bunch of good consulting companies because I know some of them, and it's actually quite nice to work with those companies. If you are a manager, director, or executive in a software company and you want to hear my thoughts on how to manage teams in your company, go check out this video. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay safe.